Hey guys, welcome to another Friday Fireside Chat. Thanks so much for dialing in. Today we're going to be listening to a little talk by Dyer, because this week we're moving into the theme gratitude during difficult times. And as the theme for this month is gratitude and abundance, in order to reach that point, what we need to do is to focus on letting go of those old stories. And so in this talk, Dr. Dyer is talking about how he coaches people through letting go and releasing those difficult emotional experiences, and really how to shift your attention towards the present, towards your desired self, and living from your desired reality. As always, I will only share a portion of this talk, and you can find the link in the show notes if you want to listen to it in its entirety. Without further ado, here is Dr. Dyer.
The next principle I call giving up your personal history. And I learned it from a man named Carlos Castaneda, who once said that one day, he said, I finally realized that I no longer needed a personal history. And just like drinking, he said, I gave it up. And that, and only that, has made all the difference in the world. You know, the nice thing about giving up your personal history is that if you don't have a story, you don't have to live up to it. All of us have these bags of manure that we carry around with us called our past. And the people who have done things to us, and the events and the circumstances, all of this stuff that we use and we bond to. And we bond ourselves to these wounds of our past, and we identify ourselves on the basis of these wounds. And every once in a while we set it down and we reach in there and we smear it all over ourselves. And then we wonder, why does my life smell so bad? I don't understand this. When in fact, the now, this moment, merging yourself into the now, means that you may have been in a relationship. I had a woman from Holland who came over to see me, whose husband had left her after 25 years. She had 4 children, and she just had been on the verge of suicide. And she was losing weight, and she was depressed, and she was taking all kinds of drugs for it, and she was getting sicker and sicker because she just couldn't get over it. And she came to a book signing that I was doing at a bookstore down in Florida. And she said, you've got to say something to me. You've got to say something to me that will help me to get over this. And I told her this line. I said, give up your personal history. Merge yourself here, now, into this moment. And those 25 years are something, if you want to understand how to do it, think of your past as, oh, this hat. And this is your past. Now, you can't just set this thing down over here and walk away from it and give up your personal history, because you'll always have it there to look back at. What you do is you pick up your past and you embrace it. You understand it, you accept it, as I had to go through these things that I had to go through in order for me to get to this place today, and the evidence for that is that I did. You don't need any more evidence. You did. And then you toss it. You toss it. You embrace it, and you toss it. And you merge into the now by giving up your attachment. And some of you have heard me use the metaphor of the wake. Alan Watts talked about the wake is not what drives the boat. The wake is just a trail that is left behind. That's all it is. And so is the wake of your life. And the wake doesn't make the boat go, and neither does the wake of your life, the reason why your life is going in the direction that it is. The wake is a trail that is left behind, and it's an illusion to believe that it is the cause of your suffering or your struggles or your difficulty. Give it up. Let it go. Embrace it, understand it, get help doing that if you must, and then move into the now. The next principle I call, it's from a line of Albert Einstein. He said, you can't solve a problem with the same mind that created it. In order to work at solving these things called problems in your life, you have to change your mind. It is your mind where they live. It is your mind that created them. There is where you experience them. They're all illusions. You must change your mind. Literally rewrite your agreement with reality. One of the things I had said earlier is that one of the most difficult things to do in the world is to admit that you were wrong. Admitting that you were wrong is nothing more than saying, I have been making choices with my mind that have created things in my life that are not working. And I no longer intend to continue making those choices. I was wrong. You don't have to make a declaration of it. You don't have to go out and feel guilty about it. You just simply say, it didn't work. The relationship that I was in before, I behaved in these ways. I didn't realize that it wasn't working for me. Now I do, and this is where I choose to be now. The secret of a successful relationship is, to me, understanding that you put your attention and your energy in a person on what you love rather than what you don't love. Robert Frost said it so beautifully. We love the things we love for what they are. For what they are. Not for what they ought to be, not for what they used to be, but for what they are. So when you look into the eyes of a person you're in a relationship with, whether it's your children, you catch them doing things right as much as you possibly can. That oftentimes takes a lot of hunting, but you'll find it. And when you think that my relationship isn't working, remember, it's in my mind. What am I thinking about that person? And if I could just change my mind and put my thoughts on what I love about this person and keep them there, that makes the relationship flourish. And there are people who go through their entire relationship history with no anger, no hatred, no bitterness, and only love. The next principle is, I call it treating yourself as if you already were what you would like to become. In other words, you get out in front of your life and you see yourself as having already what you know you'd like to have and deserve to have. My children know how to do this perfectly. I have a daughter who wanted a prom dress, and the prom dress was way outside the budget that I thought a prom dress should be. Well, I thought a prom dress shouldn't cost over $20, so I do have a problem, right? But I upped it to somewhere around $250. I don't know how much, whatever. To me, it was still more than I paid for my first house, okay? But anyway, she called and said, "Dad, this is the only prom dress I can wear. I've got to wear this prom dress. If I don't wear this prom dress," it's just on and on and on with this wonderful. You know, I saw a wonderful book about how to raise teenage daughters. The title of it is "Get Out of My Life, but First Drive Me and Cheryl to the Mall." All right, that's the actual title. It's a good book. And so I told Serena, I said, it's just beyond the budget. I've got a certain amount of money that I'm willing to put for it. And she said, "But I've already seen myself wearing it. I've already tried it on. I have a picture of myself in the dress in my living room, and I've already showed it to the guy who's taking me to the prom." I mean, it was this whole thing about, and she already saw herself in it. I said, "Well, if you see yourself in it, then you're going to have to also see yourself as earning the difference between what I'm willing to pay." And she drew up a contract. She went onto the computer, and on the background of the computer, you know, where they have these little background things they put on, there was 500 pictures of the dress, all right? And she signed a contract and said, "I'll babysit, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I will pay the difference." And she did. And she wore the dress because she understood that you treat yourself as if you already are what you'd like to become. There's a genius in you. You have to treat yourself as if you already were that genius. There's something you're completely capable of. See yourself as already there. Then you'll act upon those thoughts because the ancestor to every action, said Emerson, is a thought.
Welcome back, guys. Thanks so much for giving me some time to share this talk with you. And I hope that you will see or are beginning to understand the importance of our thoughts and our beliefs as they drive our behaviors, which then create and found our reality. And so, as we're thinking about having gratitude in difficult times, it's also about acknowledging what happened to us, yes, facing that pain, accepting that it happened, but then most importantly, moving on, not staying stuck in that cycle of pain, recycling the same identity that is false, the mistaken identity. And so, as you go into this weekend, I'd like to encourage you to think about this weekly theme of gratitude in difficult times. Tomorrow is the beginning of the first day of this weekend. Many people are struggling these days. There's a lot going on in the world, and there's a lot of heaviness. And so this is a perfectly fitting time for this theme as we approach the holiday season. How can you demonstrate gratitude even in the difficult times? How can you find the silver lining or the opportunity for growth and abundance within even the most difficult times? That's your challenge for this weekend. So as always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. You guys, welcome back to this Friday Fireside Chat, and I hope that you've enjoyed this talk by Joe Hudson and this examination of time scarcity. It was a bit of a new take on this topic for me, and I really appreciated it, so I hope that you have as well, and you find some benefit in this understanding between this time scarcity and the emotional overwhelm that we feel as a consequence, as a result. And I hope that you also take some time this weekend to check out the full interview where he is then giving you some counter strategies that can help you begin reclaiming your time and boost your productivity and well-being. So with that being said, thanks again for joining me for another week of reparenting. I'm so proud of you for being here. I'm proud of you for pushing forward, for staying dedicated to yourself, for honoring your inner child and your true self and your true needs. I truly am so thankful for your presence, for your dedication, for your own journey, and for your support, and for the support that you've given me. So thanks again so much for being here. As always, take care of yourself and have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.